Good evening and welcome. Sunday, woo! Finally a stream of quality. Yes, quality stream. I can't find on... What? Stream of quality. Yes, it's a quality stream. Because we're going to do quality work. As in, not a quality stream, but doing the feature quality. I hope. Maybe it'll also be a quality stream, but I doubt it. Why? Because I am absolutely wasted. I also have a bit of a cold and I am really tired. So just setting the stage properly. That's always good for an entertainer, just to start out by saying that it's going to be a horrible show. But anyway, it is what it is. I've been away all weekend on a beautiful, glorious Tantra weekend, Tantra festival in Copenhagen. And was unfortunately conducted in like old industrial buildings. So you're dancing around bare feet on concrete floor is really cold, and it was really drafty, and there's a lot of massage things and running around without too much clothes on. So yeah, it's no wonder you get a cold from those conditions. But it was amazing. It was awesome. It was super nice. It was mind-boggling at times, but yeah. I think for me, the most amazing thing about it is how comfortable it is for me and the girlfriend to go events like this, which is pretty much like a playground for all sorts of physical and mental escapades, and just how comfortable we are on with each other, just running around chasing whatever we want to chase, or exploring, or doing whatever, and just being like, oh yeah, it sounds so good. So yeah, so yeah, that's really nice. And it was also nice to go to an event where I didn't really care if I was attending the event or not, because I've been doing it so many times. Um, and that there's no FOMO, and that makes it much more relaxing when you don't have FOMO about all the cool events that you're gonna miss out. It's more like, yeah, I go to an event if there's something, and if I don't, then I don't. Then I do something else, and it's all good. And realizing that sometimes the best workshops are the ones you don't go to, and just taking that much needed break to recuperate and mentally realign for what's next. Because if you go to workshops from morning to evening, it started at 10 o'clock and ending at midnight, so that's 14 hours of intense workshop. You can go really deep on doing shadow work, and then doing breath work, and then doing massages, and then doing parties, and then doing all that stuff, and it gets overwhelming for most people. So pacing yourself is important, so that's good. What's on the menu tonight? Well, it's not for me, for Sir Conrad. What's on the menu for Sir Conrad? What's on the menu for us? We are going to be continuing with Factorio, obviously. We're going to be continuing with looking into quality. My 8-hour sewing routines are exhausting. Oof, I can imagine. The intensity of that. The mental strain. I imagine that's a foot pedal and not the food pedal. The cramps, yeah. Do you like endurance runs? Like, how many lines can you... how fast? Like, oh, I was just sewing 2 kilometers per hour. I don't know what the metric is for speed sewing. Different categories. Yeah, straightest lines. Food pedal would be great in yeah. 1,000 stitches per minute. And how far is a stitch? So we can calculate how much distance that is per minute. Yeah. And if you go straight out, all out for 8 hours, how much is that? Yeah, well, 2 millimeters. Well, you got all the information you need to do now. So that's 2,000 millimeters per minute. Yeah. Right. So that's 2 meters per minute. That's not much. That's not much. 2 meters per minute. So, yeah. 2 meters per minute. That's that is a lot. Yeah, it actually is. 2 meters per minute. It's, I don't know. Right. So anyway, Factorio, we are just gonna continue figuring out. There was also a good comment about some mistakes that were in previous blueprints. I think I've corrected them, but we'll just have a look at it again. Yeah, 96 kilometers, 96 kilometers per hour. That doesn't make sense. Alright, and next week I have decided that I am going to stream some Hollow Knight Silksong. So we finished Silksong, and we finished Hollow Knight, and now we're gonna go into streaming some Silksong. Why did we go for Silksong, even though it's not the most popular game after playing Hollow Knight, which was not the most popular game? Because the alternative right now is House of Tesla, which is a puzzle game, and puzzle games are fun for me, but I don't think they're very much room for engagement, because there's it's also a game that is no sense of urgency, so I can play that whenever and it'll be fine. So that's why we are going to play some Hollow Knight and or Silksong, and I think it'll just be great playing some Silksong. And I realize that it's not gonna be like a crowd pleaser. But at some point, there will be another game that will come around, and then we'll be jumping into that. But in the meantime, I'm going to play a game that I find extremely fun, and there is also probably a little bit of interest in the community about that. So I think that's how it is. And I'll try to sort of play other games, just give it a shot when they come around. But yeah, we'll have to see. So if you see some upcoming games or games that are demos or early access, then let me know. then I'll give those a shot as well. Especially for YouTube, I'd like to have something on YouTube for upcoming weeks. It's still weird that Dyson Sphere has just completely radio silence. Like, there was news in September about a new bundle with X4, but there's nothing there. And then the last one was about Gamescom, and then there was a Rift Breaker bundle, and then it was screenshot competition, China Joy Wrapped. That was August. That was the multi-threading is the last thing, where they added some multi-threading in July. Yeah. Got a rant topic for you, YouTube related. Oh, shoot. Let me hear it, and then see if there's if I'll bite. Yeah. So I'm really waiting for Dyson Sphere to be happening, or some other game to be happening. Yeah. There are definitely items on the horizon, but games on the horizon, but not right now. Right, on the other hand, so Suchit trigger rolled. Trigger rant about Assault. Ah, man, don't even get me started. Or actually, do get me started. Yeah, those channel points are just. It was a bad idea to add them, and now they're kind of stuck. Yeah, that's very rude. Trigger rant about Assault. Yeah. So let's hear the proposal for a rant. In the meantime, yeah, I don't know what. I'm just looking at my games here. Can I also just channel point not being used? Yeah. Remember why channel points were added? They were added because of Mixer, and well, Mixer's not around anymore. Hello, Gynacube. It's been a hot minute. You may have said something, but I saw House of Tesla is out. Not sure if you're still interested in that. I am interested in it, and welcome. Good to see you. I'm interested in it, but it's not a popular game. It's not going to make waves like Blueprints, and therefore it's a game that I can play whenever I want. Oh, that's just my... because no one else will have played it. And it's also like reviews and mixed. That's not great. So it's one of those games where, yeah, I'd like to play it, but right now, Silksong, we just completed Hollow Knight. If you've not been around and haven't kept up with what's happening, then we played all of Hollow Knight, and I absolutely loved it. And then, of course, Silksong is coming out, or has come out. So now people who wanted to play Silksong have probably played through it, so they can watch a stream and go like, oh my god, I used to be this bad. Or, well, not that bad, but almost as bad. And then see me progressing through it. And yeah, so we're going to be jumping into Silksong instead of that. So if you're looking for a game to further time, try Shape Hero Factory. It's not something you will love, but it's sort of something. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm going to love Silksong. Shape Hero Factory. Yeah, no. I looked at it for 1 second, and that was not. Okay, so Isolde's rant topic. I watched a video on how YouTube is broken. Wow, I mean that's a thumbnail right there. Either you have 1 million followers, streamers, or a lot of AI generated crap, leaving almost no space for independent content creators to make a decent living. Doesn't matter how good your content is, it just gets lost. And honestly, I've seen speedruns on Hollow Knight when it is an AI playing you, so where's the space for people putting the effort? And Dark Beholder, thank you for the 10 months. That was unashamedly the thumbnail. Okay, so I think that you got trapped. You got entrapped in something. There has always been, and there will always be, a story about YouTube being broken. It used to be good, but now it's broken. It used to be possible to grow, now it's not. Sure, YouTube has matured, and the algorithm has become refined, but what it has been refined towards is the Mr. Beast style. Mr. Beast has optimized towards the algorithm in an extreme amount, and then has sort of his success has sort of spread out to be like, you have to be able to, it's all about the thumbnail, it's all about the clicks, it's that this is all that it's about. And it used to be about having subscriber base and all that stuff, but that hasn't been the case for 10 years, 8 years at least, since I started. When I started, that was the tail end of where you could sort of just make let's play streams, let's play channels. They worked because you had subscribers, and they were like, ooh, I'm gonna watch the next let's play of this person. The ones who have established themselves and have 1 million viewers, 1 million subscribers, they still survive on this, basically. But you can't settle in and become a new content creator just playing games. That era has disappeared 15 years ago. So you need to do something unique. And as the field gets more and more saturated, the definition of unique is harder and harder to get. But I think it's very clear that there is a space for it, even in very mature, very small niches like Factorio, for example. Then someone like Dosh Doshenson hasn't been around for very long, but found a way to make a presence and carve out a niche. And it's definitely possible to do that. It still is. But what is happening a lot is that smaller creators will blame the environment instead of looking at themselves. And yes, it is being tough. It is very much being tough. I think that it's I think that it's a similar thing that is it's an analogy. I watched, so Denmark won the European Championship in football in '92. We still live off that high in Denmark. And the story was that they were there was war in Yugoslavia, so Yugoslavia was not going in, and therefore Denmark came in. But they had already gone to vacation, so they came back, and they were sort of in vacation shape. They were fat, and you see them running around, and it's slow, and they're chubby. And then you see modern soccer players, and it's a completely different level. They are actually athletes. And then you think, like, why didn't they put athletes in back in '92 when they were just like chubby middle-aged guys running around kicking a ball? And then and it's kind of the same thing that happened to YouTube, is that you could do anything and just be moderate. You could be successful by just being there, showing up, being there. But that's not how it is today. You have to be a top-tuned athlete to compete. And it's so easy to blame, in the football analogy, to go like, look, I do the same thing they did back in '92 and they won. Why can't I be winning? It's like, yeah, times have changed, my friend. It's tougher now, but it's not impossible. But the standard is higher because the stakes are higher. The pie is much bigger in terms of how big YouTube is and how much money there is. And it's always easier to blame everyone else, to blame the environment, than to look in and go like, well, what could I do better? And I know that I stumbled into a niche, and I've been living off that high ever since. Perfect. But that's exactly what you have to do. You have to find something that's yours. And if you do that, you can be successful. But if you just do same thing as everyone else, if you're a speedrunner, then you just have to be the best. You can't be the 20th best speedrunner in a category, because who gives a shit? No one wants to watch the 20th best speedrunner. Like, if your thing is that you are the speedrunner, then if you are the fastest, then you have to be the fastest. That's why, like, games like League of Legends or competitive games where, like, you have to be really good at a game or be really entertaining. And if you're just like, oh, I'm moderately good and I'm moderately entertaining, so like, well, there's someone who's more of either. And so I think that the thing you got baited into was believing this story, because it is not true. It's not true that it is impossible. And AI is just the latest thing that is being blamed. And yes, there is a lot of junk on YouTube, and a lot of AI junk on YouTube as well, like an incredible amount, and it's not getting any better before YouTube does anything about it. You can see, like, there are AI channels where there's just an AI replica of some semi-famous YouTuber, and then they just spew out channels. They basically take this crypto scams and that kind of thing, right? So yeah, so so I think that it's yes, it's tough, but it's also it's a convenient story to say that, oh, it's impossible for me because of circumstances. On my subscriptions now, try not to get into the trap of the suggested content. Sometimes I fall. Yeah. Yeah, it's task tool assisted speedruns. Yes, tool assisted speedruns. Yes. I find myself going back to those Let's Play series for games I don't have time to play due to work and family. Oh, I absolutely agree. But it's just that if you think about a Let's Play and then you go, okay, I want to watch a Let's Play of Silksong, then you might go like, okay, I'm gonna watch Fighting Cowboy because I know Fighting Cowboy is a moderately skilled player, and I can endure listening to his voice. And he is like, that's his channel. He million plus subscribers, does Souls games and other sort of fighting games, that kind of thing. So he will get the views. He will not be Johnny No Name with 17 subscribers. He will, who makes a better Let's Play. He will not get the views. So yeah, so that's the problem, is that every game there will be tens of thousands of Let's Players on YouTube, but there'll only be 5 of them that will actually get any views, because they are the ones for the main Let's Play channels. And then there'll be some who have like a different style, if they're always doing it funny, or they have big boobs and play games, and then you go like, oh, that's a unique proper value proposition that I can get into. So are you going to eventually merge the Masterclass into a megabase, so you simulate what can go my... No, I don't think so. I think the megabase is kind of a standalone thing, and by the time we complete the masterclass, then the logical thing is now just watch the megabase thing, and then you got it. And you used to take smoke breaks during halftime. Yeah. It's one train AI to play the game, but let's be honest, the AI would get stuck in an area where you couldn't. How does this relate to your YouTube channel? And still put out great content in there. Unfortunately, not so much great content. The thing is, like, I have a little bit of a niche, and right now I'm starving. I'm really starving for content, and that's also, it's partially, again, I can blame the surrounding and say, why is there no new Dyson Sphere coming out? Why is there no new Satisfactory? Like, it's been a while since there's been a new game that made waves. But on the other hand, there's also been like other games that could have been played more intensely, and there's a lot of games over the last year that I could have put 5 YouTube videos out to sort of play, like I did for Microtopia, for example, but I haven't done so, and there's a motivation of that, and it's mainly because for me, I think that when I look at the value, it takes as much time for me to do every video. Basically takes the same amount of time for me, like it takes a day's worth for making a video, and that's totally fine. The way I make my videos, it's very simple, but I can make a video that makes 3,000 views or 100,000 views. Then if I put in exactly the same time, then it's really hard for me to put in the effort to make those videos that I'm like, oh, I should make videos about Darkest Dungeon 2, and then I spend a day making a video, probably spent 2 because it takes so long, and then it'll get 3,000 views or 5,000 views or even 10,000 views. Then it'll be like, that was really not worth 2 days of work, was it? And sometimes I should do it as just because, just to sort of keep stuff there. Like, for example, Cosmoteer has an upgrade, and I could have played that a bit, but I really want to sort of... I've also honestly turned down the cadence on my YouTube channel because there's less stuff that makes sense for me to do. So I want to focus on when there's something that's really valuable, instead of just keep grinding. Yeah. Got you ranting. You absolutely got ranting. It's perfect. So for my sake, I think that I have a little niche, and that means when there's a new Factory game, then there will be a lot of people in who played Factorio and Satisfactory and Dyson Sphere and Captain Industry and all that stuff, who will be like, oh, hey, I wonder if Nilaus is covering this game. Oh, he does. Oh, cool, awesome. Resubscribe, watch some views, watch some videos, and I think that's fine for me. It's perfectly fine to be in that space. So. By a husband. Well, that's probably not a good strategy. Well, it's actually probably is a good strategy. You'll see you play Factorio with all the neat builds. I want to play it too, and it becomes a spady all the way. I mean, that's how it is, right? It's you can watch someone play a game and you go like, ooh, I want to just fly around and dodge and do that stuff. And then when you do it, I do the same thing on the controller. I guarantee you, I do the same thing, but it doesn't look the same on the channel on the screen. So yeah, that's how it is. So that's the 9,000 hours that comes in there, and that's sort of why I have my channel, right? It's the merits upon which I built the channel is crisp, structured builds, so crispy builds. So that's what we do. So let's try and make some of those as well. And thank you very much, that's all. I love those sort of encouragements for rants and rambles. I haven't put Nilaus on the TV yet. Nice. Yeah, so it's always nice with encouragement for random rants. Always welcome. Not always taking the bait, but they're always welcome. Good. This is the old one. This is the newest one. Yes. Right, so this was the quality build we built like 2 minutes in closing time last time. Okay, so here's the thing. I honestly think I'm not going to be able to last more than at 11 o'clock. Hopefully I can last until 11, because I can feel my throat is getting sore. I have a cold, and I've been talking for 25 minutes. So probably not going to be lasting the entire evening. Why are these not working? Okay, so what did we build last time? We built basically this little teeny tiny thing here, which is a upcycler, which also again is a term that I've defined. I was actually thinking I wanted to go through and check all the Friday Factorio facts and see if they called it upcycler anywhere, because I'm pretty sure I coined that term as well. I mean, of course, upcycling is a industry term, but it's not an industry term that belongs here. So we called it, and now it's called kind of called upcycler. Break. Hello, Disc Cookie. You coined LDS Shuffle too, yes. And City Blocks. City Blocks is the biggest one. Not Main Boss, unfortunately, that was already around when I got started. But it was the new thing when I started. City Blocks is the biggest one. That was a very deliberate sort of stake in the ground and saying like, I want a term that I can prove that this is mine, because I was tired of Arumba and Stigio copying everything I did and getting more views. That's how it started. I was like, I was so tired of coming up with Angels Bob's petrochemical designs and seeing them in their next videos without any credit. And I was like, fuck you. It's so annoying, right? They got the views and I did the work. But, you know, on the other hand, they popularized the mod packs, and people came to me when they saw that there was more structure. So in the end, it was all good. It sort of, yeah. That's actually how it often works with collaborations, or even a sort of collaborations, in the sense that you live in the same space and you're like, oh, someone will be the gateway drug. This is also why, like, Let's Game It Out is amazing for Satisfactory, because Let's Game It Out brings Satisfactory to a lot of people who will go like, ooh, this looks cool, this game, even though they're never going to be building it as broken as they do it, but then they will get into Satisfactory, and then they might like it, and then they might actually want to build structured, and they might find my channel. So I think that's a perfectly fine way to get, even though I don't like that way of playing the game. But hey, that's how it is. Yeah, and the reason why I coined the LDS shuffle was actually because of the thorium shuffle. So, does anyone know what the thorium shuffle is? Probably not. You would have to be part of the Stormspire, which again is a very niche, or at least have heard about it. Or have heard about me telling anecdotes about it. Yeah. The Stormspire was a faction in World of Warcraft with the Ethereals, but it was also outside of the game. It was also a community of loot goblins, of people who owned the economy on the servers. I was part of that. It was sort of my first serious foray into gaming, of having a server that was my server and I owned the economy on that server. I was back before it was easy. Back when 60 gold for a steed was was it 60 gold for a steed? 60 gold for a steed was like an outrageous amount of money. Back then, I was a millionaire in World of Warcraft because I owned the economy. And one of the things when Wrath of the Lich King came out was that you could take the thorium and you could use jewel crafting to break it down and then put the gems back up. And that was called the thorium shuffle. And you could also just take the gems and make jewelry, and then you could disenchant the jewelry, and then you could put the enchantment materials back online. And that was kind of the thorium shuffle. We just like buy thorium bars and or buy thorium ores, jewel craft them into gems, and then make jewelry, disenchant them, put the enchantment materials back on auction house. Lots of money to be made, fully automated with mods. And I was like, it's the LDS shuffle, kind of the same thing. It's just kind of running around in circles. Anyway, I'm liking this a lot, but I think you automated World of Warcraft. I absolutely did. Had advanced mods to scan the auction house every day, and had threshold for buy automatically anything under this threshold automatically. Then you sort of had scripts running where you just like scan the auction house and then you bought things if it was too low. And then sometimes you're also just going like, nope, I don't want that to be lower than you go in and see auction house, and then someone has been grinding all night and they put thorium at $20 gold a stack, and I was like, no, not on my server. So you buy out everything, and new gets posted, buy out everything, new gets posted, buy out everything, new gets posted, buy out everything, and then slowly picks up in price, and then it gets up to the 30 something, and it goes like, yeah, okay, 36. Now I start pushing it back, and anyone who underbids me, I just buy it out and put my own there. And you can only do that when you're willing to put tens of thousands of gold into that, and you have like an absolute shit ton of thorium, and you just go like, nope, on my server, thorium costs 36. That's it. Anything lower, I buy it out. And there's just, those are the kind of things, and people just sort of, after a while, people just get used to the price and go like, oh, this is the price. Oh man, the other server, it's at 20. Yes, but it's not my server. On my server, anyone who puts it up under my price, then I buy it out. And it was really fun. I haven't played, well, yeah, I played it mainly standing in the auction house almost all day. That was it. You're an oligarch in WoW. Yes, absolutely. And it was like, in this community, we had one server each, and then we sort of exchange ideas because we were not in competition with each other, and we showed sort of it was really cool. Really fun. That was the first really big project I had in gaming, sort of public. Right. I wonder if we should set this up to actually set up the ones we want, because I have down here all the things we want. So I think that it would be nice to be able to do that. So we actually have this, right? Diablo, yeah, thank you for the 6 months.
Illustrious champion returns. Welcome home.
So we have the option of either making the default one or the more advanced one. This one has the advantage that it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 normal ones into craft. That means that if there was actually running, which it isn't, but if it was, then it would, these 4 would always be able to feed on average one of these going, which I don't think I want that for anything, but if we have something that's going to be running all the time or very much almost all the time. Let's take some of these out and then take this one in here and try and see how that fits. Oh, there's not even room for 3 of them. Ugh. Yeah, okay, so.
Welcome back. Your steadfast loyalty is greatly appreciated.
But it could maybe be combined with something else like this one. That would actually be nice, wouldn't it? And I love you. Thank you for the 5 months. Plus panel looks nice. Yeah, as long as it doesn't turn into a swastika signal sign, then yes. Let's get all these out.
Our illustrious champion returns.
Yeah.
Welcome home.
Steve Waldo, thank you for the 20 months. Just thinking, would this work? Not really. Every day you don't use it, your prime, your person makes 17 cents. Yes. Okay. Okay. What do we think we'd want to have here? I think we'd like to have something like inserters. Upcycling inserters is going to be a major pain. Let's look at these to see which ones. What else would we want like a lot of? Robots potentially would be a thing. Maybe assemblers. But not really, maybe. Well, every day you use it. Every day you use it, he also makes it. It's just that he makes it by you not using anything, doing anything about it. I think that green inserters is the one thing that we need the most of. In higher quality. Solar panels could also, but I don't think I want to do it that way. Actually, solar panels, yeah. Let's have a look at spaceships to see if there's something that is... Oh! These maybe. Cargo base? They're not really that high quantity. It's just that I need some... Turrets? Yeah, long-handed? Yeah, maybe. I don't know, maybe. Well, it could work, couldn't it? How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. But I could also kill this part. Oh, okay. How did that one get placed and this one I can't place it? How the hell did I get that placed? There you go. Have to shift click it and then press Q. Ah. That's probably better actually. Because otherwise it's It's a mix. Nice. Except somehow you lost your connection. Hmm. Why? Well, because that one's not there, but... I don't like it. I don't like that one. You could also say, hey, maybe that's where we want to have something like better power poles. Roboports if you're expanding a lot. Yeah. I was thinking about it. I think it's a matter of... Like, this is, of course, a 0.5 second craft. But what about a Roboport? That's a 5-second craft, so... Yeah, I think not. I think we'll do it this way. And then maybe we'll do the same thing over on this side as well. So this will be our options, and then this will just be like, oops, like this. So, how many do we now have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 28, 29. Okay, that's fine, because I didn't count these two. These two are... There might be some that we can add here. So I think we have 4 of them. Then I think that would go there. And which one? Or maybe it's the robots. It's actually the robots, I think, because the robots are... They need to be created in the thousands. While... And these are also in the thousands. The rest here is in the hundreds. So... Let's do that. And these ones don't belong in that network here. Okay, so let's start filling it in. Oh, this does have read ingredients. Read ingredients? Why? Ah. No, it does not have read ingredients. No, read content, read ingredients. Hmm. Disable. Is that a thing? Does it also have this? No, it should not have this because it's now controlled by something else. Yes, okay. Nope. Yes. I am kind of wondering this one should be here. Would it be possible down here? No. Then that would have to be shifted out, and that's not working. Oops. I think it's not working here. Yeah. I think this has to be here. It's just, I know I'm gonna run out, and we need so many of these. So. Good. Yeah. Oh, that's Roboports. Yeah, Roboports are gonna be a no for now. Let's see if it fits. Oh, should I have done that? I probably shouldn't have. Now we get to... Okay, so that one. Because by now I can't really shuffle them around because I lost the origin here. Yeah. Thrusters. So this is the thing I think. If I take these two over here and I take that one down there and that one down there. That just... All four of these space thingies are here. Oh shoot, what about laser turrets? Laser turrets should also be there. Yep. We might not need them now, but we certainly do need them later on. There. Yeah. That one. Now it's all only the upgrade stuff here, or the what's it called? Inventory. And then if we have a couple of extra, that would be nice. For all the things we forgot. Radars, maybe? And there. So now it's actually only one extra. And then let's go through all of this. There. Hmm. Solar panels. Yeah. And accumulators. And then we have two extra down here. For maybe additional solar panels. And these two we have already done. These ones we have done. These need to be in the main office building or main location. All right. Since there are only two foundries, can't they be made symmetrical inside the city block? Not really, because they have to get from here. Well, yes, they absolutely can, but is it... You could also say that they are the same way. Then whether they're sort of the same way or symmetrical, it's... I don't know. I think they're equally good. Now they're exactly the same shape. So, okay. So let's figure this out. This one will be enable and read ingredients. Weird that this... Oh. Oh. But then this one also has to be changed. Woohoo! And now this is being requested, all of these things. Cool. Which obviously is not going to keep up, but... no. That's not how I want it. Oops. So... read content, set quantity, and set quantity. Uh-huh. And all the inputs. Oh! Yes. I'm not gonna survive this. There we go. Disabled. Read. That gets this one. That gets this one. Yes. I don't know why steel is so bad. Didn't we make a steel build? We probably did, but no, we didn't actually make a steel build. Huh. But we only have this one. Really horrible steel build. Go faster! Probably you need to go faster as well. This one is already faster. That helps a little bit, but it's definitely not going to keep up. I mean, eventually it will. Hey, Carter, thank you for the 25 months.
Welcome home.
Alright, this one is... Oh! Oh no. Oh, did I do this incorrectly? Yes, I did. Oh no. There. Because the one that actually only creates rare will only ever be able to output greater than or equal to rare. And therefore it does not need to be accessing the this one here. But you will be able to... And this one's not working because they are not output. And I think the same has to go for that one. Because they are now needed as inputs. Yes. Mm-hmm. Where were we? Over here. Okay, so this will be uncommon quality and this will be rare quality. Yes. And then the inputs will be changed to that one. 100. Sure. And again, it's issues with this. It's also issues with this, apparently. No? It's only the steel. Oh, yeah. Creep Robot 101 setup. I just unlocked it and start producing robots, but don't know how it should work. Can I stop using belts? No. You use belts for everything that transports sort of... When you have clear lines of a lot of stuff from here into there, use belts. When you generally have, oh, I want a little bit of a lot of things here, then robots are the best option. So it's... Robots are low quantity, high variance. So lots of different things in small quantities. You can also use it for other things. You can use it for everything. You just need to make more robots. But this is generally where it is. If you have like really specific lines of like all of this has to be produced and go in there, then that's like this is a bit. And the Sun Toad, this is a better setup because it's more structured. Better setup with a main bus where you go like, okay, I produce all my iron down here, and then I bring it up here, and then I just branch it out whenever I need it until the lines are exhausted, and that's when the base is done. That's a much smoother setup because I'm producing in one place and then pushing it out instead of having it produced down here and then have a million robots just flying into all the different things. So that's the very short. Impact robot gives is construction. Get personal robots and construction bots. Yeah, I don't even think personal robots is not as easy to get immediately, but it's just that it is construction. It means that suddenly you can remove forests, and you can deconstruct things, and you can just build stuff, and you can go like, oh, I want that one. Okay, now I want 2 of them. Copy paste. Robots do the work. Yay! So. It's not at all. And still don't know. See, I wish that when you went in here, right? This is already selected. So when I click here, I would love it to be pre-selected for that one. So that the only thing I needed to do was just scroll up to a higher quality and then select. Here, scroll up to a higher quality, select. But nope, then I lose the focus here, which I don't think makes sense that it loses focus when it gets in. And this one is brought in. Yeah, run requests. Is it coming in here? Oh, right. This should not have been disabled or enabled. So this is working, and then it's just keep grinding. That is correct. So this will be pump jacks, uncommon, pump jacks, rare. And that's... oh, hold on. Haha. Damn, there's so much. This one... that. Is it 100? Do I want 100 of this? No. I want 10 of these. Have to be a little careful about these quantities. Pump jacks, how many? 20? 20 quality pump jacks? I think that's a good number. How many hours do I got in the save? This save doesn't matter because this is a test save, so it doesn't matter. But in my maker base, I had 600 hours, so that's a... this one is a couple hundred, but it's just because I spent... this is not a playthrough. This is a sandbox. Oh, yeah, okay. I see that. I acknowledge it, and I don't think that's not how I want it. Because I don't want setups that are circuit heavy. I'd rather have a factory than have a circuit network. Because it's much easier to understand and explain what happens here. Like, oh, this one makes normal ones, and if it's a green or lower, it just gets recycled. If it's come on, then go here. Cool. And this, okay, you can see what's going on. You can see which one's moving. And sure, these ones are going to be idle almost all the time. I can see that fact. But the whole thing about switching recipes is an absolute nightmare that I don't see that working very well. Here, this one will be plump jacks. And then we need to figure out how many we want of those. Pump jacks, like 10. What's this? How much per rocket capacity? Oh, well, you need to have at least enough to fill up a rocket. What was the capacity on this? 20. Okay, so this one also... oh, okay, it's 20. What about you? Rocket capacity 10. Okay, so it's just... the minimum we should have is 1 rocket capacity for. Don't enable read ingredients though. That should set this one up. Again with the steel here. Alright. I am going to have to take a short break, a little early break. I am dying here, so be back in a couple of minutes. Yeah, it's curse the cold concrete and the cold draft under a leather kilt. That's that probably also adds to the cold. Well, I'm thinking of, has anyone pointed out the nutrient crafter gem in the carbon fiber stack on Gleba yet? Nope. No one has said that yet. So, do you really want me to go down, tumbling down that rabbit hole of Glebering? Ah, damn! I curse you for saying that. This is rocket capacity 10, but I think I want 20 of these. Oh, here's an interesting thing. When I change this, it holds the place, the chemical plant, and that, right? So it's super inconsistent. This one's in place. So here, if I wanted to change the quality, I could just scroll the quality. But because this is a circuit condition, but if it's a recipe selection, then it doesn't work. It's super inconsistent. Consistent. That one there, and there. A leather what? A leather kilt. Where's that? That's over here. That one, and then up in quality, and that one, and that one. And oh, 50. I don't want 50 of this. That's such a wasteful. But I guess we need to have 50. There. Dusu. Not quilt. It's not a quilt. It's not a blanket. It's a kilt, as in a Scots trouser alternative. Nope. Yes. Okay. I keep missing something here. I don't know if you're sewing kilts as well. Oh, that's a lot of stuff in here. And this is the uncommon. And this is the rare quality. And how many do we want? This is 10 per stack. Yes, but we certainly want one of this. We probably want 50. By all means, if you disagree with these numbers, then speak up, because those make more sense. A quilt kit. Huh? Notice that as well. I rooted the spoilers. Okay, let's deal with that shit. Okay, tumbling down the rabbit hole is what we do. Can't believe you inflict Gleba on me. That one. Yeah. I thought this would not be a problem, but it was. Oh, right. It just takes a while for this to actually eject. First it empties. Ah, that one. Yeah, okay. But that's empty now. Now this one gets emptied. Unfortunately, I'd love this to sort of switch. Could I do that? Probably could. What if I instead brought it... I could bring it out here. But that gets fed in here if it can. And if it can't, then it won't. This one's slowly getting back in order, but it's not picking up anything until... Oh, it's not picking up nutrients until this one's done, right? Or is it because it's not making nutrients? Why is it not making nutrients? Because you're done. Why are you... Where's your nutrient ejection thingy? Oh, that's actually missing. That's the problem. So maybe it even started right here. It jams with its bioflux jams on the belt. Yeah, or it just jams if it has spoilage in here. Because it didn't have any way of getting rid of the spoilage. Actually, I think these two should be flipped. Because now it needs to get out here, and then this one. Also that simple thing, trash unrequested. Maybe it was even that. Maybe it was just trash unrequested that was not working. Because that meant this one didn't get any nutrients. And that meant this one didn't get anywhere. That meant... And now it should start working. Now it gets this one out, nutrients out, and then the other ones can start working again. And are they empty? Yeah, they still have a little bit. But this one is now emptying, and they will empty fast enough. Why is this one not? Oh, it's just not getting nutrients all the way up there yet. Now it is. And then it can start burning through all of that. Yep. Why? Again with the nutrients. Why is the nutrients not working? Is it just getting... Is it just stopped? Or what? This one's working as fast as it can. Huh. Yeah, the other ones have two. And it might not just not be able to... Well, now it is able to reach all the way up here. Barely, but it is. Barely. But they've all emptied, and... Why is it not getting any Yumako mash? Oh, that's this one. Okay. Also starving. Now swap it for a stack up. Yeah, I could swap it for a stack up, but I don't have the stack up by the time I built this. Good. Circuit networks, and I always feel stupid. Yeah, well, let's do as I do and just don't. Okay, so I'd really like to have two outserters here. Well, I guess I could. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing that. And then I could have another one like this. There you go. That should solve the problem. This is still connected. They're unfortunately not going out on the same... Or they are unfortunately going out on the same side. But that's okay. It should still be... It's actually better to only go on one side, because otherwise we have twice as much sitting on the belt. And we don't want it sitting on the belt. We'd rather want it sort of sitting in the machine and not getting put out. So this... I think we fixed it. That was a short, clever distraction. Let's upgrade the blueprint for this. That's this one. Else and there. Let's just... Oh, these are actually several iterations. And then added or fixed spoilage jam on car. Good. Now that one is kind of ready, except oops. Ah, damn it. It's Windows mode. How is it? Shift? There you go. Version 1.4. Fixed jam on... Not jam. We're making fruit, so a jam is a fixed... Jam on carbon fiber. Good. I'm gonna save it immediately, otherwise we know we're not gonna do it. That's not mine. I have a special link. For the Factorio bin, I have a special link because that's then it gets posted with my username and it does not get indexed by Google. Small things that are being added. Because there was actually a problem that you could just search Factorio bin and Nilaus and then you'd find all my blueprints, my Masterclass blueprints. So we did no index on it, so it's not as easy. Let me see, Masterclass, and I'm just updating it immediately. Clever 1.4. Whoop. Now that's updated on Discord at least. Yay, thank you. Oh, this one I can take out. Maybe I should look at chat to see all the things that I missed. Thank you, SC Waldo. Appreciate it. Task derailed successful. Absolutely. But it was worth it. We fixed some things that weren't working. It was also other things that I really also should take a look at. But let's continue chugging along on this one a little bit. Let's see. This, did we get this one done? Yes, it was 50. Okay, so now the next one. What is this stack? Oh, 50. Oh, no, rocket capacity 1. Oh, that's good. Okay, so we don't need many of these. Maybe 5? Maybe 10. Oops. Definitely not that. This. And here. Next is furnace. This is also important. And this is stacking 2 or rocket capacity 50. I really don't want 50. But I guess I have to. Okay. Now this one. Now this we probably... Do we want 100 or do we want 200 of these? Maybe just one. Oops. 100. Yeah? And... This is not it. Trash unrequested. Oh, this one has the no read ingredients. There we go. And still the steel is never working. Alright. That one. Mm-hmm. And then the big one. Read ingredients. 10 times. Is it coming in? No? Set. And set. Yes. Now the gears are problematic. And how many do we want? Now this is a problem because that's a lot. I would say 500. And then this is oops. Uncommon quality, and this is rare quality. Yeah, it works. I think this is a really good alternate design for it. It's right, and next one is the most important one, I dare say. Beacons. Beacons are so good when upgraded. Like, they are good in 2 dimensions. Right? Yeah, like this. Base health, woohoo! No, but the fact that they get better efficiency, that means just beacons, modules in them just get better. Plus, they also use less power, which is a big impact because power draw from beacons is quite significant in spaceships. So this is pretty good. This one is not read ingredients. So one of these read ingredients, it's going to request all that inbound. And then how many do we want? We want beacons 100. That seems like a good number. Woo! First block done. Next, this one. You know, this is a really good time for, you know, hype trains or rants or anything like that. Or we're just slowly setting up things. 20? Yeah. So if anyone has a good topic, then by all means, throw it out there. This is going to need a lot of modules. Disable. And this one is set requests. 40. And this. Okay. And then we just need to figure out how many. I would say 200. It's a very high number. Hey, butter. Thank you for the tier 1. Thank you very much. Welcome. Why do we need this in high quality? I don't know. It's just kind of because this is 25 on a stack. 25 on a stack, yes. So that is as many as we want here. There we go. And this one is... Hold on, there's something wrong with this one. Oh, we're missing something. We're missing this part. Yeah. Okay, so I have to redo this. Read ingredients. Get it in here. Yes. And Dude in the Park, thank you for the 17 months. How do you develop your critical thinking? Advice for 20-year-old stuff. 20-year-old people stuff. Ooh, good question. Let's make it train. Thank you, Dude in the Park. Yes, I hope so. This is kind of our only chance of the week to get a hype train going. What? Isn't it better to use LDS plus LDS for copper steel? What do you mean, LDS for copper steel? I don't think you understand what I'm doing. I'm making these to upcycle. No, that's not how we do things here. Because now you're looking at it and go like, oh, you have copper and steel. Yeah, but what about this one? And what about that one? And what about this one? So just because one thing can be done with a specific thing doesn't mean that then I should make a specific LDS just for this building. Doesn't work. Doesn't work like that. Tallman, thank you for the 200 bits. Heat exchangers to upcycle materials. No, I'm using heat exchangers to upcycle heat exchangers. And Silverstein, thank you for the 200 bits. All right, Andy, Miss, thank you for that interesting question. I think it's always something I've had, like having OCD tendencies and sort of being very structured. I played with Legos as a kid, and it was always like making things nice and symmetrical and all that stuff. So some things you just, there's a proclivity or propensity to work like that, and it's something that's the orderly thing. The critical thinking, I think that if you, or for me, if I look back on my engineering, my Master of Science in Engineering, like I learned a lot of stuff that I have not used for anything outside of that course. Whether that is heat insulation indexes for different materials, or wind turbulence behind a wind turbine, or power transmission in the grid. All these things that you're never ever gonna use. Like even if you're gonna work in that specific industry, you're gonna learn some more accurate measurements or some other models anyway. But that's not the point. The point is that you learn to be formulated a question or a problem, and then you have to break it down into what is actually what you're solving. And I think for me, operations research was the fundamental, the most valuable tool set I got. And the funny thing is, the first thing that he said, the guy who was giving the lecture, was like, "This is the most important thing." And we were all like, "Yeah, they all say that." But for me, operations research, what you had to do is you had to break down a specific mathematical problem. I mean, just one sub while I'm rambling. You can't be that captivated by my rambling here. Um, you have to take an abstract problem like, what is the least amount of vehicles needed to service this within the constraints, or within time, and then you have to figure out like, okay, what is it actually, or basically that would be actually an elegant formulation, but it would more be like, what is the optimal fleet for servicing our customers, and then you have to figure out like, well, what the hell are we optimizing? Is it minimum mileage? Is it minimum vehicles? Is it like what? Breaking a problem down to figure out what are you actually optimizing and what are the constraints. And for me, when I got out into real work life afterwards, that was the one thing I saw that people just did not understand. People had so much, they were so busy optimizing constraints, and not sort of figuring out what is the actual what is the optimization parameter, and not what is the constraint that guides us, and therefore we just spend our time on optimizing constraints, which is kind of equivalent in Factorio to chasing bottlenecks. You're just like, oh, I don't have enough green, then I make more green. It was like, yeah, but you didn't have enough green because you didn't have enough copper. So making a twice the size green factory doesn't do anything because you're still not have enough copper, and that kind of thing. So for me, that's the most important. Define the problem before trying to solve the problem. Exactly, you define the problem, and define it as what is it actually you're trying to optimize. Because I saw it just so many times in my logistics business, was that like, okay, so Norway is an import country because when it comes to goods, because they import pretty much everything because they got a lot of money from oil, and you can't really put oil on trucks, so you kind of just buy a lot of goods. And that means that if you're a trucking company, all your trailers happen to end up in Norway because Norway is not exporting a goddamn thing. Hello, Evian. Thank you for the Prime. Welcome. Just a little bit too late for us to start the train, but okay. Guess it's not today then, or not now. And then the optimization became, how do we disincentivize imports into Norway? Like, that's a constraint. Like, that's just a given. Like, Norway is importing more stuff, so you're just spending a lot of time on optimizing a constraint instead of sort of looking at the grand scheme of things and go like, well, we could just maybe give a discount, or maybe we can maybe say that if you bring a truck to Norway, you have to get it out again, or something like that, or you know. But then it became like an optimization of constraints rather than an optimization of, well, are we actually making money off this? Because who cares if you have to drive idle or empty trailers out of Norway? If you make so much money transporting oranges to Norway, then it's okay if it drives empty back to Spain, if you on the round trip make money. And then if you can find something from Denmark to France, then you at least get coverage some of the way. So that was, and Quiz, thank you for the 25 months. How do we stop X from happening best? Should we solve it? How is it? Well, how do we stop X from happening? I don't know why. You don't need to stop X from happening, because that's exactly what they were doing. Like, they were trying to say, like, how do we stop X from happening? But like, well, you can just not import stuff to Norway, but then your competitors will. Or you can say, well, it's just a given of how the market works that there's more import than export in Norway. So maybe we just make sure that you actually make money on the round trip and not on just one side. So for me, the one thing was learn to identify what is the problem to be solved, and what are the constraints by which you can solve it. Yeah. We've seen issues with multi-billion-dollar video game publishing companies, Embracer Group, EA, and the Subnautica 2 lawsuit with Krafton. When these companies acquire an indie studio and attempt to replicate the same game's success, it often lacks the same magic. Do you think that an indie studio is the Theseus ship paradox, where the studio is not just the studio, but the people who made the studio, why they are there, and what made the magic? Yes, because I've been in a company that was owned by, like, there was the founder, he was the CEO, and then he had his 4 lieutenants, and they were the section chief. And I joined when there were 20 employees, and when I left, they were about 60 people. And basically everyone was like, yeah, it's our company. We work here, we love it, we're passionate about it, and because we know the CEO, and we can just always go to his office and go like, yeah, I mean, my dog is sick or whatever. You could always sort of make a deal, and you could, as long as you gave to the company, you knew that there was always a lot of leeway, and it was awesome. And then he wanted to retire because he was old and wanted to cash out. And then it was bought out by some Irish company, and immediately 2 things happened. Like, all this restructuring, all the stuff that was like, oh, let's synergize. Let's not have an IT guy in Denmark. Let's only have the Irish IT guy. Well, good luck fixing why the printer is not working in the Danish office when you're sitting in Ireland. Fuck you, right? So that obviously doesn't work, but you could save an IT guy in Denmark by doing that. And that's the kind of shit that just degrades morale, because then it's like, ugh, okay, the printer has eaten the paper again, and I don't know, let's call the IT guy. No, you have to create a ticket in the ticket system, and then you have to wait for the IT guy to go like, well, have you tried restarting? It's like, it's paper stuck. Can we just, those kind of banal things. And once those kind of things creep in, like, oh, you can't just go to your boss and go like, here are my receipts. It now has to be in a certain thing and outsourced to India to someone who is, and then 3 weeks of, when all the bureaucracy sort of sneaks in, people lose that feel for the company, because you're not met by, it's not a group of people. It's now an entity of itself. It's a dispassionate bureaucratic mess, and no one has good feelings towards a bureaucratic mess. So it might be efficient to make like status reports and time reporting and all these things, and you need it at a certain size. But as soon as you do that, you also lose some of the passion and the soul, and people just didn't stop mattering about it.
Praise the sun.
Wow, thank you, Utter Butter. Thank you for the 10 gift subs and 2 extra Valorant gifted 2 extra subs. I guess we are in the last days of September. I guess we didn't notice that because there hasn't been any subs gifted. So thank you for gifting the subs. So I think that what happened is that when EA or Embracer Group or whoever buys a small indie company, then the people there, maybe they get a golden parachute or something. Then, or maybe they don't, but either way, the soul is just sucked out of the company because it's no longer communicating. It's no longer like, hey, I didn't, I put an effort into it for the company, even though the company was such an abstract thing, but I knew that the company was the sum of the people in the office. And if we don't, or if we all put in an extra effort, there will actually be a bonus this year. And maybe my thing is not really what makes the big difference, but it's like, if we all just put in a little bit extra, but when it sort of become part of a bigger group and whatever, then it's like, I don't care, I just put in the minimum effort. Thank you, Swimmer, for the 70 months. And Prinkle, thank you for the 4 months of Prime. And It's 404, thank you for the 27 months of Prime. And it started a glorious little train. Butter is churning through the subs. Nice. What the company talks about, record profit for that year, but all races and bonuses are postponed. Yeah, that's a classic one, but it's that's just bad management. Battle Wars, thank you for the 47 months. J-Tips, thank you for the 5 gift subs. And an extra one. So I guess it's like a 20% extra 20% extra subs at this point. That's pretty good. 20% extra subs, why not? Fluffs, thank you for the 5 gifties. And 1 extra. Yeah, it looks very much, maybe it's, remember when it was random, when you could sort of gift 5 subs and then it was sometimes just give 10, 15 extra subs? Yeah, 1 extra for every 5. Yeah, there was one when it was really crazy, but that was probably sort of going against some gambling laws somewhere. Now it's basically 20% bonus. 20% bonus is better than a 20% discount. So I know it's not the same thing, but you know. Often exists for middle management circle jerk. Meets expectation is 2% right. Exceeds is 4%. Everyone meets. We expect you to exceed. Yes. Yeah. Do you think it is more seen in gaming, but game studios? Whoops. Hey, Surgeon, thank you for 10 gifties. Did you? But game studio is basically a creative studio. When you suck the soul out, you get more hollowed out. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I think it's also because it's our niche, so we notice it when a company gets bought out, and we sort of see that the sequel is just a hollow shell. Amit, thank you for the 3 months, and DDKS, thank you for 40 months. So I think we notice it much more because it's in our niche. Ooh, Sujin! Oh, yes. Sujin, 5 more. And Swammer also with 5 more. Oh, look at that. Valorant gifted 2 extra subs. 3 extra subs? 1 extra sub. I don't know. It kind of comes in weird waves. Yeah. And Executor, thank you for the tier 2 for 63 months. Right. And I also think that any creative business, and a game studio is very much a creative business. And if you work in an indie game studio, everyone has to do more than their fair share. Otherwise it doesn't work. And everyone has to do everything. But suddenly you get bought out by EA and it's like, okay, well, it's not my job to do compliance. It's not my job to check if our music is copyright infringing. There's a whole department doing that at EA, so it's not really my job to do that. And I assume that they have that under control because it's their fucking job to have it under control. And then things slip through the cracks. Or go like, well, I mean, now we are not allowed to do the full end-to-end artistic expression. We can only do this part, and then we have to ship it off, and then someone does the other part, whatever. And then it just becomes like, well, I no longer feel attachment to the product. I feel attachment to my little deliverable because it's just, I can't see the whole picture anymore. It's not about, let's look at the full picture and go like, oh. You can see it, something that, like, I think a good example, I can show you in Factorio. This is a good example of something that couldn't happen in a big studio. Need to go out of that mode. That's insane. That is just insane. That you can copy a blueprint and just click it here, and then it creates a logistics request for everything in that blueprint. Like, why did that happen? That is not something that was put into a Trello board and evaluated by product managers versus the efforts. No, this is Bosskit who wanted that function and just built it. And then he showed me during the demonstration. And I was like, holy shit, that's fucking awesome. I mean, I've never really used it, but if you're working with outposting, then you just take your outpost build, you go like, yeah, this is my outpost build, get it into my inventory. When it's filled up, I go out, build my outpost because I know I have everything. That is amazing. And that's something that is, it's a little example of the soul of an indie game. Because that would never be sort of evaluated for merits and time boxed and t-shirt sized evaluated, all that shit never happened. But if a developer can sit there playing the game and goes like, this would be neat, fuck it, done. And that's what I love. This is the stuff that we can be like, oh, this is so cool, this is so awesome. And I get that many of you didn't know that story or this little trip, but it's that kind of thing that gets lost when you're only sort of pull the next one from the pile. Okay, implement a function that does this. Okay, done. QA next. So yeah, and ST Waldo, thank you for 5 gifties. Oh, and Valorant gifted 5 subs on top. So it is kind of random. And then the Swimmer gifting 5 subs. I think, isn't it? It must be... Valorant is number 4 now. Had to get my gold back. Yes. Sounds like a story where a guy went to work for a game company as part of bug solving. Guy joins, pulls one bug report, just solves it, then handles resignation, turn on you as a player annoyed with the bug. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Oh no, we're almost done with the hype train. Can we just see if we can get to the next hype train? Can we get to the next level? It would be sad if we miss it on the 91% towards the level 4. 91%, 30 seconds left. And don't wait till the last second. How much is that we're missing? Ooh. With all these subs and we're still, the train is almost dead. 3 subs to level. There we go. We're survived. We're alive. We're alive. Awesome. Doing the park with 5 subs. J-Tips with 5 subs. And Otterbutter with 10 subs. And then Valorant just topping up everything else. That means Valorant is probably in the lead now. Nah, Valorant with 20 subs. It's working its way up there. By the end of this hype train. Oh my god.
Proliferate.
Let's get out of this mode. Cool. We need at least people for Valorant to be in first place. Well, it's 20%, so we would need like for it to get 10 more subs times 5, so it'd be 50 more subs, then it'll be in the lead. It could happen. I should say we're actually approaching the level 5. I don't think I can last even the full extent today, but I will owe you an extra hour because yeah, I'm already sort of teetering on the edge. Tips. New to Factorio and already addicted. Just wondering if the old Masterclass videos are still valid. Plus, are there any plans to redo the novice base with electro plants and foundries? In the last video, you mentioned kind of wanting to, but was not going to. Is there any good videos to match on overhauling, upgrading the base I could watch? Cannot find any. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, thank you. First time chatter. Nice. I will show you something that will probably be disheartening for you. This is the mega base, million signs per minute, running smoothly for 10 hours. And I'll show you what my novice base looks like. It's fucking sad. And it'll also be the answer to whether there are videos for it. Yeah, someone was playing around here. Right? It's red belts, it's yellow, at least it's yellow assemblers, but some things are probably still blue assemblers. Like, look at this. Mark 1. And it's still just chucking along, making a tiny bit of plastic. Grain, thank you for the 7 months. right? So why? Because it's not used for anything. So, like, should I upgrade the plastic? Yeah, but plastic is better on Gleba. Plastic is better on Fulgora. Plastic, not really, but plastic is better anywhere else. So, do I need to? Not really. And as long as it's just chugging along, then that's fine. And we did do a little upgrade here, and it didn't really matter much. This is better, but it was also like, yeah, this is still outdated. It's just slightly less outdated than this shit. So the fact of the matter is, Navis doesn't do anything. Once you leave Navis, you're not really coming back. The only thing Navis does at the end is uranium. Does uranium stuff, and it does yeah, this stuff, biter stuff. That's it. In my case here, it does circuits as well. Maybe you want to do circuits as well. So you don't need a fully fledged Navis base. So that's why I didn't come back to it, because it doesn't matter. Okay, so the fact that I said that we're not going to be able to do an extra hour completely killed the hype train. I can see 60 seconds left. We need 22 subs to complete the level 5. If we get to level 5, there's still going to be an extra hour. You added somewhere in the near future, but it's also pretty amazing. And plus, it's also opportunity to get 20% extra gifties. I should also say, here's the thing. I want to make a YouTube channel update video, and basically the concept is September has been my worst month on Twitch and YouTube ever, and I'm still happy. I think that's a good catch, right? That's a good sort of hook for a video, right? That said, the Factorio splitters can finally be connected to signals. What? Whoa! Whoa! Who was that? Whoa! What the? What happened? That was Mark. Mark flowing in here. 25 subs. Thank you so much, Mark. Wow. Whoa. What the hell? How did it go to level 6 and almost level 7? What the hell happened? Something is weird. Oh, it's a... But it says 25 subs. Oh, Barthik jumped 100 subs. Oh, shit. Barthik... There we go. Barthik dropped 100 subs and... hello, welcome. Well, now you kind of ruined my YouTube video. They can't say it's the worst month ever. Yeah, all the subs at the same time. Wow, just almost level 7. Okay. I'm just, it's not gonna be crying. It's just my face is leaking snot, and I'll save you from that for a second. He's totally crying. Yes, he's totally crying. I am that emotional like that. Oh, should I refund? No. I don't even think you can, but don't try that. Thank you so much. I think I also missed something else. Yeah, it was Barthik with the 100 glorious gift subs. Thank you so much, Barthik, and welcome. Good to see you. James sneaking in with 5 gift subs, and then also Mark dropping 25. Because it was like 25, that shouldn't have completed the level, but it did. Yeah, September has turned into dumb temper. I think there's something about September. Yeah, I do like. Oh, Ingrained snuck in with 7 months Prime sub. Thanks for all the work. Are you going for LDS shower for casinos on Masterclass? No, I'm not, because I don't think that's gonna be relevant. Maybe. Okay, we were testing if this one was, or if this is a. Yep. At least not yet. So. Okay. I got a little bit. Okay, so anyway, was it the YouTube short lied to me? Or they are on a future release? Yes. A YouTube short lied to you? But they're saying 0.67. Let me check what the... Or maybe it's just someone who doesn't understand and... yeah, I don't know if there's... 0.66 is released as stable, but 0.67 is probably not experimental. I don't know. Interesting. What do you do for power on each planet? Do you move to fusion for all? Yes. Move to fusion for all eventually. Less important to do that on Fulgora, I would say. But some would say that equally, but yeah. Anyway, let me continue on this debacle here. Did we get that? Yes, 25. That was the last one we got through, and then the whole thing. It was Otterbutter who started this shenanigans with finding out that there were Valorant gift subs. Nice, well done. I wake away for a sec, and suddenly they're almost level 7. Yes, well, please walk away some more. Kindly walk away once in a while. Yeah, okay, so this is cargo base. And this one. This is breed. And how many cargo bays? 10. Is that? I think we want 50 because this is something we just want. It's important and expensive. Ooh, Bartek, thank you for the 5,000. Oh, look at that. It's 98% towards a level 7. 90, so 700 bits or 2 subs in the last 20 seconds. Oh no! Oh no! Are we going to end at 98% or is it going to be... oh, there we go. Let's see Waldo with the 5 gift subs. Also joining in on this glorious... And it's a level 7. Sigh.
Tales of our endeavors proliferate.
There's many of these.
Champion returns. Welcome home.
10 rocket capacity. And Bartek with a tier 3 on top. One more. Hakun, get some sleep. Long slog next stream. Yes. Hunter, thank you for the 79 months. And Mr. Ojak, thank you for the 32 months. So which game will get the plus 3 hours? I don't know. I think it's a little unfair if it's not a Factorio stream. But I don't know. I think that it should be a Factorio stream because it's a Factorio stream that earned it. But I don't know. It's... So it'll probably be on the docket for next time. Why is that one not happening? Do we not build this here? Do we not build it like... Yeah, we do build electric engines. They just don't work. Why? Lubricant! Why did lubricant die? Oh no, tumbling down the rabbit hole. Why did you... Well, you're not dead, you're just not working. This seems odd. This actually seems incorrect. I feel that I had a design where there was a beacon in here. Because that would be working if it was one beacon. I'm pretty sure I designed that. Technically, this is fine. No, it's not, because it's not actually hitting this one. So... Weird. Yeah, the robots are also dying a little bit here, or just being unable to keep
Our
up.
illustrious champion returns. Welcome home.
There you go. And in Irunian, thank you for 34 months. Yeah, it shows coal, yeah. Which also could just be brought in by belt if we wanted to. Where's the coal coming from? That's actually interesting. Shouldn't it come from somewhere like this? I don't know. Landfill! Woo! Okay, let's continue on this. This one... Yes, that was done. Thrusters. Okay. And more thrusters here. And then how many thrusters do I want? They're really expensive, and let's do 20. Yeah. Looks like the bottom right. That is where the bots are going to get the call. Bottom right. And that was the hype train. Yeah. Hype train successful. Level 7. Get an I am clap emote. Wow, they really put effort into those emotes. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. And Barthak, you won both one and the other. Definitely deserve a glorious spaceship with your name on it. Do you ship all parts to Novice, or does Factorio become a shipyard? Factorio? Shipyard? This... What? Volcanus, you mean become a shipyard? I think actually my intention is, and I'm not sure that's a good idea. My intention is to build the ship on Novice with normal parts, and then fly it over to Volcanus and build it properly. But I could as well build it on Volcanus. So it is going to be Volcanus probably being shipyard. This is still not really working. But that's kind of expected. Like, whatever is being... This is not it. This is the one that's consuming. Yeah, they're just slow. And then... this one probably is the main culprit. But why? Ugh. Really? There's no constraint on this? Just kind of... mindless trudging along, just filling. Really? Really? I didn't do that? Damn. That's odd. That I didn't do any kind of constraint on this. To call in the base quality ship out. Might be worth adding requesters to the upcyclers to call in the base quality ship parts. Oh, yeah, I don't think I want to. I think I want to skip that. Nope, just filters to fill the box. Yes, apparently. I think that would be like this then, and that would be like this. That would be 500, 1,000. So it's 500, 1,000, and then this one would be a full one. Yeah, that would make sense if I wanted to do it that way. Oops. Did we do this? 20. Yeah. Next. Rocket turrets. Okay. How many rocket turrets do we want? When we go to Aquilo, 20 is not much. 50. Because if we want to use them for some defenses anywhere, then that's probably it's too much, right? Because that would imply that I want to use them for defense, and I don't want to use them for defense. They're not very good at defense now that it comes to it. That is incorrect, and that is correct. And then this one is start requesting. Oh no. Okay. Rocket launchers. Did we remember to put that down here? No. And let's test our... Let's test this system here. I don't like testing systems because they usually don't work when you test them. Yeah, this is the classical IT thing. We test it, it might actually just show that it's not working. So do we really want to test it? Can we just not test it and then just assume that it works? Oh, this is pointing the wrong way. Oh, who did that? Who did that? Oh, no. I thought we had all of these already set up. I guess not. So this one would be Volcanus inbound from Cleverlicious. Done. And that would take like that. Except we don't have a ship that does it, so this is kind of only halfway. We'd also want the one from Novice, otherwise it doesn't work. That. Yeah. So each one should have 4. Let's also put them in sequence. Volcanus, Gleba, Aquilo, Volcanus. I think this is the sequence. Yeah. So let's go to space and see what we don't have. We have that one. Dude, you're not working. You should have all the ones I just created for you. Not that. This one? Do you get that one? Let's see if it works. It doesn't have interrupts. It doesn't have interrupts. No. Oh yeah, it's just a resupply. Yeah. Okay, so that's nice. Okay, so that's simple. Good. And now these are not populated, but at least the structure is there. So it'll have one of each of the 3 other planets. Then it will have a resupply from here. It'll have a resupply from there. No. A Gleba resupply. And a Novice resupply. Boop. There you go. So now it goes to Fulgora, resupplies, goes to here, and resupplies and come back. So just setting the whole thing up, it's actually really simple. Like the fact that we just set up these things here, and if I had set this up once, then all I needed to do was just go to here, go to here, and say, okay, from what planet do I want what thing, and then everything else would be automatic. I think that's actually really nice. It's a nice system. It's just someone had forgotten to set it up. There. Prioritize planet sequence is better. Does that make sense? Aquilo missing G. Missing G? What do you mean? Missing G? Are you making efficiency modules on Nilaus because of the spoilage from Bioflux and the Gleba Science Pack? Yes. Just make sure you have the correct... Yes, absolutely. This is why I'm using the new arrows here just to signify that it's new. These ones I can also disable because that doesn't make sense anymore and it's not on the ships. Okay, where were we? We were on doing this one, and I was saying 20, 20, and 20. Yeah, good. Next, normal turrets. What? No. Why do we not have copper in this world? I know we don't have a lot of copper, but we should have some copper. Oh no, who did that? Oops. We don't have Aquilo unlocked yet. Oh, it is unlocked. But we don't have the play. Too much for a grocery supply is missing on the chip. Yeah, but okay. But it's not actually intended to have the Aquilo missing on this ship. This ship cannot go to Aquilo, so it should not have Aquilo resupply. Because it would be dead, because it doesn't have any rocket turrets. Yeah. So that's why it shouldn't be here. But the planet should still request from Gleva with whatever it wants, but it's not going to get it. Okay, just making sure that we were talking about the same thing. You... Ah, 12. Nice. Something. How many do we want of this? 10 for a stack. Yeah. We don't really need a lot of these, do we? No. We don't probably need any. And laser turrets. Hmm. 100? That's enough for a spaceship. Yeah, I think 100 is a fine number. It's gonna be really painful to get, but yeah. Batteries are not being made here. Just gonna make that down here just so that we are clear that it's not working. With factory game LOL right now, any interest in trying Hades or Hades 2? No. I am going to play Silksong starting tomorrow. And now I also said the same thing. Like, I know Hades is an overwhelmingly positive game. And so is, I think so is Hollow Knight. I don't think Silksong is, Silksong is only very positive only. But I think that it's not really something that catches my interest. It looks way too spammy. It does look like a great game, but it doesn't really look like something for me. You could say the same thing about Hollow Knight and Silksong, but now I just got sort of gotten that. Oh, rare towers for Aquilo. Yes, that's a great point. Great point, because we want to get ready for Aquilo here. This is all about getting ready for Aquilo, and honestly, so that's a really good point. Which also might be emphasized up in this one. Or I'm just saying 20. Maybe 50? Oof, then they're certainly ready for Aquilo. Yeah, so there is definitely the factory game LOL, but I think that if we go into Silksong, honestly, I think if I'm going to complete Silksong all the way to the end, it's probably going to last another 2 months of that. Or at least 1.5 months. And then something else will have come along before that. So I'm not so worried about it. We still have Factorio on Sundays, and then we have 2 normal weekday streams, and then the occasional 1 extra here and there. So actually from November and onwards, I think I should be streaming regularly every other Thursday, and that's because my my training my training is colliding with the regular workshops. So they used to be Yeah, not. It used to be on alternating weeks, but in November and December they're going to be on the same week, which is unfortunate. So I'm going to miss out. And stack sizes for heat exchangers and turbines may make questions, but they're super annoying for setting up ratios. Yes. Okay, so I need to take a short break. Because, again, leaking. Be back in 2 minutes. Look what I found. Someone called him a chunky boy. He's so sad. Look at him. He's so fat and sad. Little chunky boy. I had a date over and she was like, oh, look at that chunky boy. Yeah, look at him. He's all ashamed about being called chunky. Ah, see? He is cute. Yeah, very croissant. Yeah. He's cuddle shaped, absolutely. Very cuddly shaped. See, I don't know if this is asserting dominance. Like, I'm just putting my razor sharp claw on your jugular just to show who's the boss, or if it's affectionate, or if it's both. It's like lovable choking here. Instead with razor sharp fangs. Oh, claws. Yeah. So, yeah, the pack about the hot dog buns in packs of 8. The most infuriating part is a pack of bacon in Denmark is 7. Like, 7 slices of bacon is the most useless number. Like, why? Why? It's not a coincidence that you get 7 slices of bacon. I'm like, it's just, when did it become so that consumer products just have to piss off and cheat and annoy the consumers? That it's sort of a battle against the consumer, where you know that it's all about sort of, you know that they are trying to cheat you, and you have to sort of see through their cheat of like, oh, okay, so this pack, is it half full of air, and then the rest is, there's only one pack inside or something. Like, Benjamin packs of 30. Yeah, I'm sure, I don't know if 30 is the right number. I would rather have it 32 then. But I mean, divisible by 8, by 2 is the least I would require for a bacon size. Like, wars have started over less than who gets the last bacon. The odd bacon. I made a rule with my kids back when the 2 kids were at home, that if there was a pack of 2, then each of the kids would get 1 and I wouldn't get any. If there was a pack of 3, then we would each get 1 of each. If there was a package of 4, then each of the kids would get 1 and I would get 2. If there was a pack of 5, then each of the kids would get 2, and I would get 1. So no matter what number there was, someone would get more or less, but it would always be either me or the kids would get more. And it actually works fine, because sometimes you just buy, I don't know, a pack of ice creams, and then there's 5 in the pack, and you're like, okay, well, there's 1 for each, and then there's 1 extra for the kids. Or if there's another pack of ice cream, or there's only 4 in a pack, and they're like, well, there's 1 each, and then I get an extra 1. 1 per weekday. Who makes a single slice of bacon? Like, oh, I'll have 1 slice of bacon. Psh, I'll have 1 pack of bacon. It's a pack of bacon is a quantum. It doesn't like it. For me, like a cucumber, you cannot sort of eat half a cucumber. You cannot eat half a pack of bacon. It's 1 pack of bacon, it's 1 cucumber, like, or half an apple. That doesn't exist either. It's silly. Right, you agree? Half a cat. Who would want half a cat? I certainly want the front part and not the back half. Yeah. So, there you go. And say goodnight to little kitty. And hello to the game. The regulation that certain goods need to be sold in fixed quantities, since then you can buy a chocolate bar for 90 grams. What? So, we are getting distracted with our distractions. And that one, it's all good. This one is all good. Yes. We want 100 of those. That's a little bit ambitious, isn't it? That's a little bit ambitious. Let's do 50. No. Over here. Also a little bit ambitious here. Also wonder why we're not getting... Oh, it's still damn electric engines. Yeah. Good. And moving on. The solar panels are the hardest ones to get happy, I think. I think solar panels just goes to 100. If we can get 100 of that, I'll be happy. And... Whew. Yeah. And then we need to set up how many? 200. 200? Yeah. We need a... Oh, actually we need a lot for... yeah, we need a lot for Aquilo. But I think 200 is fine. And it is not working. Can we fix the blueprint? Can't get the odd bacon. Can we fix the lubricant? I don't know. I do feel that we had a better one. Let me just check the blueprints actually. Old blueprints. Yes, this one. Look, I swapped these two around. And this one so that there was room for a beacon up here. Huh, this is interesting. And then this. Because if I place it like this, then it also affects the water, which might also be another case of unfortunateness. So now this is producing 40 per second, this is consuming 40 and outputting 40. I could also make this like that. Oh. Oh, weird. Then I would only consume 20 but produce 26. That's not a good deal. Then it is better like this, because then it's matching 40 to 40. Okay. Yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. Just kind of seeing if... Then this one could go across. Yeah. No. Not really. Good. It's still 40, and these ones are consuming 2 per second. This is consuming way more. This actually shouldn't consume any more, because now that was problematic. So the only consumer of lubricant is actually up here, or the main consumer of lubricant is up here. Yeah, okay, so no longer, lubricant is no longer a shortcoming. Just like that, done. Now it's everything else. Steel, the usual. Hello, Randomax. Good evening. We could make... Yeah. Pick up 1,000. Okay, so everyone wants steel. Alright, moving up. This one is... Oh, 49. That's actually doing great already. This one is also doing great, I think. 108. 108. And why is it not working? That's really also a low number. But that is because this... yeah. Right, moving on. Accumulators. And read, and this one, yeah. Just gonna make batteries here as well, just because it's annoying that I don't have them. I don't think I need 100, but let me just make 100. Good. In the long term, do you import plastic from Gleba for cannons? I mean, I don't think so. It's not something I'm crazy about. I don't think it's very valuable to do it. No, that's not correct. I think that, yes, it's valuable to do it because plastic is so easily made on Gleba until you get the cryogenic plant. With the cryogenic plant, then there's the productivity is so high that it just makes sense again to make it locally from coal. I think. I'm not saying that's necessarily the correct thing, but this is what I feel. That one should be 2. Five? Yeah. And obviously this is not working because it doesn't have any of these. But hold on. Supercapacitors. We can just request that off of by going into our network here and go, hey, supercapacitors from Fulgora. Yes, please. Supercapacitors. 1,000. I know, that's a good number. 500 in the rockets. So that's just 2 rockets. Well, cool. Back from dinner, and I see Barthak in the room. I'm going to ask what happened. Well, you... I leave this here just as a disgrace to my disgraceness. But also because if I want to update the original, then I kind of need to keep it around. Okay. So now we should get this eventually. We don't get uranium fuel cells, but again, this is the beauty of it. We just go here and say uranium fuel cells. Boop. And then eventually, hopefully, it'll get it. Where you at? You're on Fulgora. And you are... want everything in here. Ooh. Whoa. Why is the unfulfilled request on Fulgora that one? That doesn't make any sense. No, it's just unfulfilled requests. That's interesting. Oh, it's... the game is stuck. What happened? What happened? There. Huh. Weird. Must have clicked the hotkey. Had a good hype train. You showed off his cat and just talked about how 7 pieces of bacon in the package is the perfect size. No, you didn't get anything. It's not the perfect size. It's the worst size. Alright, so this one's now going to Fulgora to pick up the supercapacitors. Excellent. Love it. I love when you set up a system and then you add to the system. It's so nice. It doesn't seem like a good idea if you want to make sure that people just always have a little bit left or always sort of are missing something, then yeah, it is a good idea, but it's not consumer friendly. And we also have to make sure that this gets built on planets, which it isn't right now. This will be here. And I want 5 of these. Let me know if you don't think the numbers are correct. This one. Belt. Uncommon belt. And a rare belt. And how many belts do I want? 5? Ooh, we already have 2. Nice. This one. Oh, sticks. Okay, so let's go here. Now this is really coming into its own. Just going here. 100, 1000, I'd say. That's 1 rocket capacity. Cool. And that will automatically be built up here. Which is now stuck here and go like, oh shit, you want more of that? Okay. On the way, and it just barely got it. Nice. Too early? It was not too early, it was just perfect time. So now this is coming in from 2 rockets, and then we're done, and then we'll go directly to yeah, quick lever. 2 seconds. Oh! Sorry, I'm back. A little bit alive. Oh, still crying over the hype train. And we see that it goes to Novice to pick up this. And once that's done, it will honestly probably go to Gleber for carbon fiber. Yeah. Well-timed sneeze. I mean, I don't know. It's been mounting, so. Okay. Yeah, this is working cool. Laser thingies. I guess those are also kind of needed a little bit. This is just one of those things that it's just chugging along, and when it's done, we don't need to worry about it. What about your original plan to finish at 11 o'clock? Yeah, since nice feature to be watching past stuff while keeping chat live. Nice. Yes, I'm not, obviously not feeling very well. So that's still kind of... Oh, laser turrets. I wouldn't say it was initial plan, it was more of a initial contingency. And yeah, that's still kind of where I have to that's what I'm looking at right now as well. Five, right? 5 is enough? Yeah. Maybe not actually. But I can't really be bothered to build more than that. And that's not working because it's, well, energy shields. And the legs. Legs are really good. Legs are not overrated. Yeah. Also 5. Damn. Damn the engines. And the last one is open and idle for whatever. This one's open and idle for whatever. And this one is already set up here and here. Oh no. Shoot. Oh, that's robots. It was actually supposed to be robots. Right. So this one should not be this. This should be robots actually. Hello. Goodbye, robots. There we go. There. And this one will be... No. 200. 200. 500. 200. 500. 500. Just keep going. Flying fucking robot brain. Man. Forgot that. Wouldn't this request of uranium cell leach fuel from future Aquilo ship? No, because the Aquilo ship will import it from Nauvis, or yes, Nauvis, and then it will stay on the ship. It won't drop it off. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get that. I get what you're saying. I think there might have to be... Yeah, so the Aquilo ship is flying... Well, I don't know about the Aquilo ship, because I think that... Yes, if I did it exactly the same, I know the way that I intend to do it, because I intend to have this ship running only inner planets, because it only works. I'm not intending to upgrade this ship to an Aquilo corvette. I'm intending to have the Aquilo corvette actually doing a trip that does like this, where it just says anything going import from either of these planets. That's what it does. And then a second one that does anything outbound from Aquilo to all these planets. So basically Aquilo will be different. It'll be one import ship and one export ship, while the inner planets will have one import ship each. Because otherwise I would need all of my inner planet ships to be upgraded to Aquilo corvettes. I could, and then I would have them sort of go out to wherever they needed. And in that case, then it would actually leach, yes. But if I make one import and one export ship from Aquilo, then it will not leech. It's also much easier to set up when you get started because you need to get a ship to Aquilo. Okay, cool. And then while you're on Aquilo, you set things up. You can use the same ship to go back and bring more stuff in. But at some point, you're going to start having a factory on Aquilo that needs to ship something out. And by then, you should have made a second of those ships. They're not super cheap, so yeah. So, good point. But I think I'm dodging it by the way I've designed it. Whether intentional or not. That's coming in. And then I constrain it also. This one, 500. You can solve it by always going to novice to replete the fuel. Yes, but that's a weird situation. I can also fix it another way by making a dummy request. So for example, on the Aquilo ship here, if I don't want this, for example here, then it would drop it off. Then I could just make a dummy request here. Yeah. Would the low nuke fuel interrupt kick in if we dump on Volcanus? Yes, it would. I think. If we have a low fuel. But I don't have a low fuel, I just have a fuel. I don't have a low fuel, it's just that if this one runs out, then go back. Which is a little bit late. Granted. Could have an interrupt for that. But we haven't gotten started on this. This one is not working, or is it? This... How come the green ones are just not getting in here? I think this just needs to be 20. These are the big ones. Yeah, 20. It's still lacking this one. 40. Let's see. Oh no, this should not be trash unrequested. Oh no, that's a disaster if I did that. Do not trash. This one doesn't matter, but... Did I do it for other ones? No, I didn't. Okay. That's literally the whole point, is not trashing, because otherwise I would trash these. The rare components here. Or uncommon components. They obviously need to go in here. And craft. Yay! And we're starting to get... Yes! Amazing. And then we will eventually we will put this into the network and replace it. For automating bot upgrades, I'm about to start swapping out my workforce. Yes! I mean, I might as well just do that, because that's kind of what we can do. So what I would do is let's go out of map mode here. Yeah, I would probably make this in a scrap it, but it's whatever, let's just take it out of the network. So I would say find a location here. That goes out, and then another one that goes in, and this one will then be might as well just do this just to illustrate more clearly what it's supposed to do. And then you can even further do that and that, so that when they're idle, the logistics robots will go to this location, and when they go here, they will be caught in the trap and sent out of the network. This is basically just guaranteeing that it can do that. You can also, of course, saying, okay, only take it until it's a certain point, because right now it'll just empty all of these out. And that's maybe a little bit unfortunate if... so we're going to have to get some replacements in here. And then this one should be... oh, actually, I think it's better to have 2 of these. Yeah. Because then I can control this. Read robot statistics. That is total available construction bots. Total available, not total. It's Y and T. Enable when T. That's the total construction bots is less than 5,000. There. So that works. It now takes the normal ones, gets over here, and then takes them out, and then it fills it up with the rare quality, which we just happen to have in a box right next to us. If we then look at our logistics network, you can see that this is decreasing, and these numbers are increasing. And this one probably just be 2,000, which I think is nicer, because then it doesn't... there. Then these are actually idle until it has emptied more of the network. So now when it gets to sort of empty more of the network and it reaches a threshold of saying this number plus this number is less than 2,000, then fill in more. This and this is less than 2,000, then fill in more. Something like that. And this will just take a while, because it's going to take some time before it gets to a point where maybe the last of the normal logistics bots happen to end up idle, and then when they end up idle, they'll go here. You can see there's always 50 en route here, and as soon as they get here, they get ejected. So, active provider at each roboport, removing low tier robots whenever they come in. Yeah, but that's not actually a good idea, Sarkon, because every location is a lot, but doing this means you only have to do it at one location. And that's really powerful. So you can filter out those, and you can also put it into like logistics chests, or I mean a scrapper or something. Wasn't aware of that, Shujo. Hence the why you ask people ask questions in this chat. Haha. Back in my days. Yeah, back in your days. And we can now see that this number, okay, it's still, these numbers are still really high. Just because it doesn't reduce it very quickly, but it does reduce it, so that's something. And then we actually have this one, and it's... why is it not working? Because it got all the things it needs. Ooh, I'm actually... Logistics connection, yes. But why is the logistics connection... what the hell does logistics connection do to this? Like... Okay, so it doesn't actually have to be so. Oh, did I know that? I think I knew it, but I didn't recognize it that you can actually set lamps up to logistics network. So this one is not happy. But it should be happy. Oh, right, because it has to be turned around. Oh, that's a pain in the ass to do. Hmm. Yeah, this one is enabled when this... But I need this to be opposite. Not that. It's nice to use this field here for a light, a green light. I think that would be really nice if that works, but it's a lot of extra setup. Ah, shit. Here we go again. Sorry. I think we can make it yellow for yellow would be sort of it's in progress doing stuff. But then I just don't like that light should be on when it's on, right? I mean, when things, or I don't know. We'll just copy it everywhere and see if one of them suddenly triggers. This one will. Hey, this is busy. Why is it busy? It only has 4 and it wants 10. Definitely also busy. Do we like this? Or is it... $22 out of that. Oh. Not a single one. Oh no, that one was enabled. No. Well, good thing we went through it again. It's not really very visible, this little light. It would also be nicer to have green lights everywhere. On the other hand, you could make it super advanced by doing also a circuit condition that said but that's the problem is that I would have to edit it many places, and I don't think that's valuable. I think that's just making it overly complicated. Just like, ooh, it looks fancy, but it's gonna be pain in the ass if you want 20 of these. Then you have to edit it 3 different places. That's already icky enough as it is. So, but on the other hand, if we put it into the basic blueprint, like this one here, then it is already part of the blueprint. For example, I could say now that's already down there. If it's less than 50, it's... Oh, I can't make it 2 different colors. Color compactness. I have no idea what that means. Color components, color mapping, color... whatever. Yeah. Actually, I think that would actually make sense if I then just did this And then they made it green. Because I like the green better of illustrating, hey, this one is happy. But then I don't need that one, right? So this would be just the updated one. So why is this 50? Oh. Good. Never mind. Is it a checksum? It's not really a checksum, but yeah, it's just a it's just saying that I have now completed what I should have, right? And it just looks nicer that it goes like, oh, this one's good, instead of this one lighting up and saying it's not done yet. I'd rather have an okay indicator than a work in progress indicator. Like this one would be me. This is more valuable. Like, it's green, good, don't worry about it. Oh, this is 100. This should be 200. There. Yeah. It's a little bit of a extra work, but it also looks nice that we can see this. It would be nice if it was green or yellow. But nope. Too advanced for me. This one's not okay. You can also see the robot flying in. Paste and yeah. Yeah, this takes a while. Why does it take a while? Oh, it's yeah, that one, obviously. $18. That's something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and copy paste and that one. The point is also, this is just one of those things that we just build it and then we oh, this one is misplaced. Oh no. Oh, good thing we caught that. Why are there lights in the top right hand corner suddenly? There's always been lights in the top right hand corner. That doesn't make sense. Get rid of all the lights. How did I not notice that before? Should only be the lights that mean something. Probably regretting this, but whatever. Only the meaningful lights. Good. Whew. Here. Copy, paste. Copy, paste. Oof, this is not going well. So, updates for next week. Next week we are going to play some Silk Song. So that's gonna be a long and arduous grind, and hopefully, oh, that one did not get updated. Oh, interesting. Hopefully we can take some of what we learned from the previous, from Hollow Knight, and apply it. But there'll probably also be new stuff that doesn't make any sense. That one, yeah. Okay, this is not working. Oh no, boilers and heat pipes. Okay. More stuff that isn't even exist. Boilers and heat pipes. Boilers and heat pipes, and if I say boilers, then I also say stone furnaces. Damn. What's this one? There. Woohoo! That's done. Okay. Paste. Ooh, this one's already done. Nice. And this one's not getting anywhere because it's simply missing the personal rubber ports. Woo, done. Laser turrets, okay. You're also missing. You're missing the Mark 1s. Now this one's missing. Yeah, okay. And this one's just missing whatever. Yeah. Last ones. There we go. Okay, so this is now done, and I'm honestly really happy about it because that means that we can also take either we can take some of this out because there's no reason for us to make this anymore, right? Or how much could we actually take out? Like not much actually. Like we could take this one out, this one, these three. Turrets, that one. Used in. Yeah, okay, so that is used here. No, used here. So we have to keep that. Last two have 2 extra lights. Okay. Oh, I fixed that. Oh, this one. Yes. Yeah. Maybe. Okay, I simply have to wrap up because now I'm gonna turn into a cascade of goop, and that's not very nice. And it's getting harder and harder for me to focus, so I need to go to bed early, and it doesn't mean I don't appreciate the glorious hype train. I will definitely be adding those hours, maybe on next Sunday, maybe on some of the streams next week. It was absolutely amazing, but I am not feeling well today, and the only way for me to get better is sleep, and that works wonders. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Yeah. So sorry that it's gonna be a little bit shorter stream, especially given the hype trains. I will try to be ready for tomorrow. We'll do some Silk Song, and then and absolutely do not run around barefoot in September on concrete floor and with scantily clad as well. Let's say that. So, thank you, everyone. Good night. Take care. And thank you so much for that absolutely amazing, glorious hype train. I'll see you guys tomorrow, Wednesday, or Sunday. Good night.